For many leagues, people have told me to use Path of Building. I've refused up until this league, Affliction League, but for the longest time, I have been using an online resource called PoE Ninja to improve my builds. I'm going to show how you can improve any build in Path of Exile using PoE Ninja almost instantly and easily. We're going to hop on over to it right now. This is PoE Ninja. You can navigate over to the build section here, and if you want to improve your build or see what other people are doing with their builds for the skill that you're using, all you do is search over here in the filter and search for the skill that you're using. For me, I'm using Cleave of Rage, so I'm going to select Cleave of Rage right here. This gives me the top list of characters in all of Path of Exile Affliction League that are using Cleave of Rage with 5+ links. You can see I'm actually number 6 on the leaderboards, but all of these characters, I guarantee you, have vastly different items and skill trees compared to me. So what I'm going to do is open up my character right here. You can see the items that I have right here. I have a Savior, I have a Rigwald's, I'm using, of course, Bear's Girdle, I have 2 unique flasks right here, I have a certain set of jewels that I'm using, right, especially this cluster jewel with these 3 interesting passives. You can see the breakdown of my bandits, the charges I have, my defenses, my attributes, great, and you can also see my passive tree heat map, and if you don't want to have this very bare bones version, you can always go to this version of the passive skill tree, which is on the Path of Exile website. So you can actually see the pictures and easily navigate it right here. So we're going to head back over to here, and now we're going to look at some of the other builds and see if there are any improvements I can make. Because what I see instantly right now is a lot of these builds have more life than I do while also having more damage. So I don't know if that's a result of them having better gear or just pathing better on the passive skill tree. Let's go to the person that's right above me on the ladder and check out their items. Instantly, I see, okay, so they have the Savior. They're also using an Abyssus, so this is going to give them a massive boost in damage at the cost of terrible defenses. They also have a Rallycaches, so they're getting max charges when they're standing still, which is what you're doing while you're using Cleave of Rage. Very interesting. They also have an Amethyst Flax. Ooh, so here's budget. Indomitable Resolve, so that's a massive juggernaut notable from that Ascendancy. So that's a ton of money right there. That which was taken. Whoa! Critical strikes have Culling Strike. Banner skills have no reservation. 8% of leeches instant and +4 to maximum rage. So this is a big budget character. I can see why it has far more damage than I do and more defenses. It has some crazy items, of course, some items that greatly sacrifice its actual init defenses, and it's something that I just can't afford right now. Let's also look at the charms. Okay, crit, more rage, cannot take reflected damage, and then, ooh, okay, impales last 1 additional hit. Yep, this is a crazy character with a ton of money invested into it. You can also see here the links, Awakened Multi-Strike support. He has the same links as I do, except Awakened Multi-Strike. That is 26 Divine Orbs right now. I can't do that. Also, he has Enlighten and Grace, so he has tons more evasion. Interesting. Okay, Dread Banner. Yep, we're using the same stuff here. Everything else is the same. Okay, great. He just has far more invested into this character. I'd like to look at the passive skill tree, though, and see if it's very different. It is. He decides to path over to here to get all the crit nodes and the dual wielding nodes in this area of the tree, whereas I took a different approach. We can actually open it up right here. I path up over here. I'm getting a lot of nodes over here, and I focus right over here with the endurance charges. He doesn't get any of the endurance charge nodes. He's going in far more for the offense. So there are the trade-offs there. He also has this Psychotic Axe, which is insanely expensive. It's definitely more than a Rigwald's. Of course, it's more than a Rigwald's. I meant it's more powerful than a Rigwald's. So this person has invested an absolute ton into their character and has made a lot of currency. It's not something that I can necessarily parse and grasp right now with the amount of Divine Orbs I have made, but it's interesting to see the upgrade path that I can take. I can go for Rallycaches and make my way up there. If I feel like dying a lot more, I can just equip an Abyssus and forego what I currently have in my helm slot. That's an easy upgrade as long as I'm okay with dying. Once I get level 100, maybe I'll do that. Okay, so we looked at Lihapa. Let's look at Berserkenstein. Okay, level 100. Ooh, he's still using a Vironastra. Interesting. So maybe these jewels go a lot into the one-handed weapons for the double dipping. A little bit, not an absolute ton. We've got these charms. He only has 3 charms, so he's missing a charm slot. That's wild. That's very interesting to see. So he hasn't found, I assume, the King in the Mist yet. He must be an SSF. What is going on here? Rigwalds, rare items, Bear's Girdle, same set of flasks. Okay. He also is going for, oh, it looks like not the endurance charges, but this person went all in on the totems. Okay. Very interesting for Panopticon. I'm going to try to go for that with my anoint slot. Oh, he has quick step too. That's exactly what I have for the spell suppression. All right, much the same pathing throughout the tree otherwise. Same links here. Okay. Yeah, pretty much all the same links. So the major difference that I see here is, one, he's losing out on a charm slot and he's still using a Varunastra. So he definitely has a ton of upgrade paths here, but you can see this guy's damage. It's pretty much non-existent. It's not even loaded in. It's definitely lower than mine, but he's just brute forced his way to level 100, it appears. All right, let's take a look at Big Daddy Zerk and see if he's doing anything interesting. So we've got another Savior, Rigwalds. Ooh, an Arm's Anguish. What exactly is this? Okay, so a good, corrupted, implicit, more endurance charges, brutal charges. Oh, so brutal. I actually don't know what those do. So that's something that I'd want to go look up on the wiki to see exactly what brutal charges do. Another rally caches that seems to be a trend with these builds, since you do stand still using Cleave of Rage. Okay, and this person has insane damage. Let's see if these charms do anything. Yeah, these are super powerful charms, especially the Culling Strike. Watcher's Eye. Oh, yeah, 10% chance to deal double damage while using Pride. That's huge. Massive jewel. Okay. And then this is also an excellent one. Lots of Berserker nodes here. More rage, always good on this build. So again, I think Rally Caches is something that I can go for now. Really? Yeah, I think that'd be great. I need to check at Arm's Anguish and see exactly what brutal charges do. That's very interesting. And this is another person who went for the critical nodes over here for dual wielding. I really should try that out. Ooh, and they have a different link here. Increased critical damage support. I've tried this out a little bit, but I haven't tried it in combination with Pulverize. That massively increases your AoE. I haven't been using Pulverize. I've been using melee damage support. I should try that out now that I'm at max level and max rage stacks to see how big Cleave of Rage can actually get. Anything different down here? I don't think so. Everything else is pretty much the same. So interesting stuff. That massive DPS increase is coming from that which was taken. This Watcher's Eye 100%, and then the combination of Rally Caches, and I'm guessing Arn's Anguish. I think that brutal charges are probably rather powerful. They also have Panopticon, which is something that I still have to anoint on my amulet. Okay, let's check. Ooh, and this one's very interesting because this is one of the only people that is not a Berserker going for Cleave of Rage, and that it's in the top of the leaderboard. So this is a very different build. Looks like we got a Taste of Hate. So they're scaling Cleave of Rage to not be... Oh, it is physical damage. Oh, okay. We're just getting some extra. Okay, interesting. Savior, Psychotic Axe, super strong. Not the greatest one, though. It's strong, but not the greatest. Oh, look at that attack speed. That's probably why he's using it. We have a Defiance of Destiny. I've heard that this is excellent on Cleave of Rage here. Oh, man, this person has... this person has some expensive items here in the form of jewels. Oh, yeah. Okay. This individual has a ton of currency to spend. Awesome clusters right here. Stacking a ton of damage and a ton of defenses. This Slayer build is probably is way tankier than the Berserker version. I might actually have to try this out next league. This is really interesting. I love Cleave of Rage, and I'd love to try it out on a different ascendancy. The Overleech here is probably beautiful in keeping him alive, especially with the charms. This becomes really easy to sustain. That's a huge thing, though. War Cries grant 2 rage per 5 power if you have less than 25 rage. He's probably using the swap, the Red Blade Banner swap, so he's generating max rage. If that's not in 3.24, this is going to be painful, I think, on a Slayer. We'll have to see, though. All right, we have one more that we're just going to check out and see what they're doing. They're the top of the leaderboard, the highest DPS, and the most life. So this person should have probably the best items on here. YOLO drop build. Okay, so we got an Abyssus, Savior, Psychotic Axe. Everybody's using the Savior. There's no Paradoxicas. Very interesting. Ralakeshes, Arn's Anguish. I have to look into that now. A Psychotic Axe with, whoa, that's a nice Psychotic Axe. Fantastic. And then, of course, another Forbidden Flame and Flesh. Blitz. Okay, so he's going all in on the actual Berserker ascendancy. Some excellent cluster jewels. Yeah, this is the dream cluster with Deadly Repartee, Martial Prowess, and Quick and Deadly. Massive damage increase when you're dual wielding, especially with different weapons. We have a Talisman with Panopticon. Whoa, that's a nice Talisman. Okay, he's using the same flasks except Progenesis. Okay, so I gotta look into that, see how that operates. And the tree, very similar to mine, except no endurance. He's not speccing into endurance nodes at all. And once again, we see another Awakened Multi-Strike support. Everything else looks pretty close. He's also using War Banner instead of Dread Banner. Maybe I should check that out, although he's not getting Impale anywhere on his build, if I'm not mistaken. Is there any Impale? Interesting. Oh, wow. This Watcher's Eye is insane. No Impale. So he's obviously doing something right, though. So I really have to check into all these items. Yeah. Okay. So let's hop back to my build and kind of recap what we've learned just by looking at the other top builds on PoE.Ninja. One, we know that we've made the right choice with the Savior. Everybody's using the Savior. I do think this is better than Paradoxica, especially given Paradoxica's wild requirements in terms of dexterity. We also can upgrade from Rigwald Savagery to a Psychotic Axe when we find an excellent one or have the currency to just slam one and try to craft the perfect one. We also need Panopticon on our amulet. We can swap into an Abyssus if we want massive damage in exchange for, no defenses, essentially. We can look into Progenesis as the flasks. We also need a Forbidden Flame and Flesh that allocates either Blitz or one of the huge Jug nodes. That costs a lot of currency, though. We need to look into Arn's Anguish as a belt alternative instead of Bear's Girdle. Even though Bear's Girdle gives a huge amount of rage, a lot of people are using it and getting a lot of damage in exchange. I'm wondering if this is helping with single target because our AoE is already so large, or if we just swap out something like melee awakened damage support in exchange for Pulverize to get more AoE for our cleave, since we are dropping rage and losing some of that radius. We also need to try to look at some Watcher's Eyes to see if we can get a better one than this. This one's great for defenses, but has zero stuff coming and helping us for offenses. The tree, I also want to see if I can spec into this side of the tree instead of going heavy in some of these other paths right here to get more damage and crit multi based on dual wielding. My cluster jewel can also use some work. I saw some other great ones with the, especially, I think it's not Deadly Repartee, it's Quick and Deadly. That's exactly what I want on this cluster jewel. I've tried to roll it so many times, and everything else looks pretty set. The leaderboard for Cleave of Rage is interesting because a lot of the builds are different in terms of passives and build paths. Even though a lot of people are using the Savior, many people were using Paradoxica before, some jeweled foils, stuff like that. So it's really interesting, not only now, 2-3 weeks into the league to look, it's very interesting to watch it evolve in the early league. This is where I kept going to try to get new ideas for my Cleave of Rage character because, as I've said before, I am not the best build creator and I rarely use Path of Building. I mean, this is the first league that I've truly used it. So seeing all these other builds and getting inspiration from them really helps me out. And I highly recommend any of you out there who are either making your own build or following somebody else's to just go to PoE Ninja and check out what other people are doing, because you might be surprised and it might give you an alternate upgrade path to really max out your build and try something new. I hope this helped. I hope you try out PoE.Ninja. It's great for build creation in Path of Exile 1, and it's a resource that I just highly recommend exploring. And also in the future, we'll actually look at some ways to use it for currency too, for a pleb like me. Anyways, that's all for this video. Talamoana, Exiles.